preserved my youth. Not only did it capture my goals, it told me the truth.
Conversate for a few, cause it a few.
I let them know we missing you. The love is unconditional.
Wave your hands across the land if we family.
We got a world premiere right here, now get lost.
So off we go, let the trumpets blow. And hold on, because the driver of the mission is a pro.
All right, another episode of Conversate with Us. Remember, Conversate stands for communicate, converse, and relate. Make sure you check out our other shows, the Man Listen Show, Conversate After Dark, all part of the Conversate with Us network. Make sure you tell a friend. All right, so I know y'all know, some of y'all know, most of y'all should know, this is a World Cup year, and the World Cup is going to be in North America. So they'll be hosting games in the U.S., I believe Mexico, and Canada as well. And for some of us who watch football, you know, we call football something different than the rest of the world. But for those of us who watch football all the time, we know that it's a beautiful game and it can become real intriguing. And there's a good number of Black men who follow European football. So I got two of my guys that are going to come on and we're going to talk about it.
Glory, Man United.
So, you know, we got my boy Lav from Man Listen Show. Lav it up with you, man.
What's going on, man? Good to be here.
It's all good. And we got my boy Darryl from the SOC Network, man. What's up with you, man?
Man, nothing much, man. I mean, we fired our manager, so we've been winning lately, actually.
That's it, dude. I thought you were Liverpool, man.
No, oh no.
The wrong red.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I could have swore you was Liverpool.
No.
All right, so we'll talk about this. You know, what we're talking about is, you know, some teams that play in the Premier League. Premier League is the professional football team for England. So I'll say that it's not the UK, it's for England. You know, yeah. I looked up the other day, like, this is Great Britain, this is the UK, this is England.
Right, exactly. Because Wales can be in there too. Like Cardiff, in theory, is in Division 1 and 2. They can go into the Premier League. Cardiff has been in the Premier League, and that's a Welsh team.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So they would have someone from Ireland too? Is that
no? Just
I don't think Northern Ireland don't. No, really mess with them
not
like
Ireland.
Well, Northern Ireland is part of what is it? Great Britain.
Yes.
And the United Kingdom is England, Wales, and Scotland.
Yes,
Scotland. Okay.
So they get because the Scottish team.
No. That's the Welsh league. It's not even a Welsh league. It's not enough teams for it to be like a league. So they basically are in the English system for their leagues. Okay. So they move up and down just like any other team within the league. So like I believe Gareth Bale's first team was Cardiff, or one of his first teams was Cardiff because he's a Welsh guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, you know, just to catch people up, man, and I'll let Lav and Darryl talk about it, but, you know, some of the teams that we're talking about on the Premier League, that's a professional football league for England. You also have La Liga for Spain. You have Serie A for Italy. And what's the French one? I forget.
League One.
League One.
And Bundesliga for Germany.
Bundesliga. You know, I watched the clips for Bundesliga, and I said they look like their stuff is entertaining. You know, the way they put their clips together, whatever. But so just imagine, you know, you have different. Say you had like NFL for the West Coast, NFL for here, for there, because Europe is much more compact than the US. So you have your domestic leagues, and then they also play in European leagues. Tournaments, right, for another trophy to win throughout the year. So I'm gonna start off by asking y'all both, and Darryl, since you the guest, I would go with you. What got you into Premier League soccer, man? What got you into Premier League football? We're gonna call it what it is.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So I was trying to holler at this girl from Tanzania in undergrad my freshman year.
See, that's where you're messing up, because I met a young lady.
Always.
I met a young lady in Dubai. Now, I can't tell the whole story,
right?
But it's not Tanzania, it's Tanzania. That's how they say it, Tanzania.
Yeah,
I'm from Tanzania, and I was like, "Fuck's Tanzania?" I said,
yeah, that's like
Tanzania. Okay, go ahead. My bad, bro.
Yeah, so no, I was trying to how does Citra holler at her? She's still good people. She actually live in Dallas. Good people. She was a Liverpool fan. So this is in 99. So this is early Yahoo, before people use Google, use Yahoo then. So I just Google what was the team that Liverpool don't like, so I can have like some kind of like way to try to talk to her and stuff. And then found out it was Manchester United. And I was like, okay, that's what I'm running with. And I was like, oh, they winning? That's my club. And that's how I became a Man U fan.
So you try to get on her good side by rooting for the rivals.
Yeah.
He wanted to have that banter, that back and forth.
Yeah, I wanted to be like, oh, you
Okay.
ain't just trying to get at me by saying it's my team. Like, you really know what you're talking about. You got another club.
Yeah.
See, I thought you was about to say Everton. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't do that to myself.
Lav, how you get into a game? I know you just a sports guy in general, but
yeah, I'm just a sports guy in general, man. But when I really started, and I don't know, you might, you watched it longer than me probably, but was during the pandemic, man. And
the pandemic picked it up for a lot of people.
Yeah, and so you start watching these documentaries and clips, and you see it, and I'm like, man, these guys are some skilled athletes. Before I started watching, I went to probably 2018. I was doing Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and they gave us tickets to go see like Sporting Kansas City, a Sporting KC game, and I was first and only soccer match I've ever been to in person. And it was interesting. I had never been, and I was learning stuff and, kind of seeing them how fast and how quick and how agile those guys are, man. Like, you can't tell me, this might be getting on a tangent, but the athletes we have in the U.S., man, the U.S. team should be a lot better, man. They have the athletes.
There's reasons for it, but
but I digress. And so then the one documentary that got me, I watched it all the way through. It's called All or Nothing on Prime. And that season they just happened to be doing Tottenham. And Tottenham made it all the way to, it was a final during the 2019 season. They made it all the way to the Champions League final.
Yep.
And I was like, man, I like some of the personalities on the team. And so since then I've been rocking with Tottenham with Spurs, man.
And it's been a struggle ever since.
So back real quick, Mar. I actually started watching soccer World Cup '94. Was technically, but if you're talking about league wise, it is. Was that in '99? Yeah. But '94, I started keeping up with like international. But we didn't have cable. You couldn't keep up with the leagues there. They had one game on on a Saturday sometimes randomly. On NBC.
And that helped out a lot too. Really, it's the Premier League now. You can watch 7 games a week. They come on every, if you got Peacock or whatever, you can watch every game.
Telemundo,
USA Peacock.
Telemundo's the back doorway. You know about that, Mark. That's the back doorway.
Hey, for real, exactly. Already, yep.
All that. Or if you got that Fire Stick game on point, you can watch it. You can watch everything you want. So, for me, we all got a mutual homeboy, and he got me on the Arsenal. And, right now, Arsenal, the top of the Premier League.
Before you get into that,
hold on. Top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, all the domestic tournaments, we're still in the game. So, it's been years since we've won. And, I listened to a few podcasts.
Like 20.
I listened to a few podcasts about this, and they said, you know what, man? We're in the midst of a championship run.
I agree.
We could pull it off.
Yeah.
But you really can't enjoy it because the last few years we've been so close, number 2, and it just didn't happen, man. So I really got my homeboy is just like, hey man, come watch the match with me. Come watch the match. And I went and I saw the energy. And I think the first one I went to, Arsenal was playing Tottenham. And Lav happened to be in town, and we watched.
Oh yeah, we did. I forgot that. I forgot we saw that game. Yeah.
So kind of he started explaining to me and piqued my interest, and now I'm just all in. And
that was crazy, man.
One of the things that he said that appealed to me, he said, "Yo, man, Arsenal is the black team. Arsenal is the team that the black people follow." And I started doing the history, and they are the team that one of the first teams to integrate. But I realized because I'm a worldwide brother. I go to London pretty often. So, when I'm in the Uber or whatever, I'm asking, hey, I see a black man, I'm automatically thinking like they root for Arsenal. And I'm like, hey, yo, who your squad? And they be like, Man U. I'm like, what?
I've just been saying.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, yo, who your squad? They be like, Liverpool.
It's just different.
What? I'm like, what? And so I asked them. They said, "Nah, man. Arsenal, man. They always good, but they never win." Blah 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 blah. And then I went on a tour, a food tour, that took us to Brixton, and it took you to all because they have a lot of West African influence, Caribbean influence, right? Because they brought them all in to rebuild the country, and they put them in Brixton. There's a lot of history behind that. So I'm talking to the guy, and I think his name. I got to look up his name. 'Cause I want to shout him out because if you go to London, you got to do his food tour. And I asked him, I said, "Well, hey, what's up with that? I thought everybody rocked with Arsenal, that was black." And they was like, "Man, listen, there was a player back in the day named John Barnes that played for Liverpool. And he was cold. He was a Jamaican dude that played for Liverpool. And the amount of racism that he had to overcome, to make his way in the Premier League, that's what got a lot of brothers to support in Liverpool. So, there's a lot of cultural things that go on over there, like the different derbies, where they say derbies, the different derbies where if you're in the same city, y'all play each other, it's a derby, so it's a big rivalry thing. I really get into it, man. I don't think, between Top Boy, Premier League, and them accents on black women from London. You know what I'm saying? I might as well move there.
Have you watched Supercell yet? The TV show Supercell?
Man, you know what, man? I've had it in my queue and I just haven't watched it.
You gotta watch that, man.
I got a long trip up. Thanks for the reminder. I'm gonna do it, man. So yeah, so one of the things, man, getting into this, I'm anti-NFL. F the NFL. That's me. We talked about that plenty. And for a while, I sat there and felt like I was better than a lot of the people that still watch it. It was me. Y'all don't watch the NFL. Y'all need to be watching the Premier League. That's where it's at. Then I started doing some research and I said, hey, some of the owners own NFL and
most of them do.
A couple of them own or some minority stake or something like that, right? And then in European football, there is a lot of racism. For sure. So do you think that it's a fair comparison, like, Premier League and, all the different other European leagues and the NFL or whatever? You think it's a fair comparison at all?
I would say no. The only reason I say no is because NFL players are putting their bodies way more on the line and just physically in their sport more than this, and they're compensated more in football, like in European football, way more. I mean, this cats is not that good, making 75,000 a week, on wages, and there is no. They claim it's a cap, but it's not really a cap. But if a team wants to pay you whatever, you can be paid whatever. It's really open market as long as they're keeping the rules within the FIFA equal fair play rules or whatever.
Yeah. You got to.
Ain't nobody got slammed for it. Everybody just been like, yeah, you messed up. You'll come back later.
I think
they should have though.
People
Chelsea should have got right.
People be cooking
Manchester City too.
People be cooking the books.
Yeah.
Shout out to Man City because they basically a state back team.
And low key, that's the only reason that they didn't get Messi is because they was finna get jammed up for that fair play. He was on his way to do his medical at City.
Yeah.
And at the last minute he went to PSG. That's when he was leaving Barcelona.
Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. Now I was like, as far as the comparison, a lot of one thing that I'm still getting used to is the structure of it too. So the fair pay or fair play is actually good because the relegation aspect is dope to me, man. Like I love, like you have to fit NFL teams, man. We gonna make our money. I mean, seriously, we got our money up front. We could be 0-17.
Even one of the most poorly run teams.
Yes,
in the NFL
team is gonna make their bread.
Money, because of just how it's set up for the owners. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So the structure is a little different too.
But explain that to people in terms of regulation, because I know there's people that are watching the show
so
don't follow. So explain regulation and then how the top teams are compensated versus the teams that come in the bottom.
Yeah. So in the regulation, and it comes, like you said, there's Premier League, but then there's like Division, there's Championship, there's Division One, all the way down. I don't know what they got to 6, 7. I don't know how many divisions.
I mean, it goes all the way down like your local boys in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know about it, imagine you have like Major League Baseball, then you have
exactly. That's a good example.
Yeah, single A, and then whatever comes underneath that. There's different leagues, and the Premier League has 20 teams. Each team you play each team home and away. You get 3 points. Yeah. You get 3 points if you win the match. Each team gets 1 point if there's a draw, 0 if you lose. Now, whoever has the most points at the end of the season, there's no playoffs. Whoever has the most points, they win the league, right? The top 5, because of how competitive the Premier League is, the top 5 get an opportunity to play in the Champions League, where you play.
That rotates though. It's usually top 4, but depends on how your team performs.
It depends on like how strong the league.
But it's 5. It's 5. You can have more though too, but that's a deeper conversation.
I know. You can win a cup like Tottenham and be there.
Yep.
Right. So and there's different ways to get into it. Now, the reason why it's important to be able to qualify for these tournaments and do well in these tournaments and finish top in your league is because that brings in more money to your team. So when we talk about the fair play and being able to be prove that you're financially solvent and you're not just bringing people in and not paying your bills, it moves you to be better and to play in these tournaments to give your players more recognition. Because like we're talking about a World Cup year, this is a World Cup year, and players play for their professional leagues. But then they also have the international break where they have to go and play for their own team, to play for their national team. And you can't do that if you're not really getting no tick on the professional. Right. So it's big on that. But when we're last talking about regulation, so you got the top and then you got the bottom. So the bottom three teams at the end of the year, they get demoted down to the league below, and the top 3 teams from that league get promoted up. So I'm just explaining it for the viewers, Lav.
Yeah, no. Yeah. That's a dope aspect. I mean, it keeps you, to me, that keeps you, of course, there's bigger clubs that probably will never have to, or it's been 100 years since they ever had to worry about relegation.
Hey, last year we was kind of worried about Tottenham.
You was, they wasn't,
I mean, we look at right now, West Ham may be going down. I mean,
say it again.
It looks very likely they're gonna go down, and they haven't been down for a long time.
West Ham probably gonna go down. Yeah, they're probably gonna go down for sure. So
and that's gonna be a real travesty because they got that Olympic Stadium they play in.
Yeah,
they play at Wembley, right? Yeah.
That's where their home games are, at Wembley.
They play at the Olympic Stadium that they built for the Olympics. Yep.
Damn, that's not Wembley, though, is it?
No, it's it's not Wembley.
No,
something else. It's what is the name of that?
I thought they redid Wembley though for the Olympics. That's what I thought. Maybe not.
They did, but West Ham don't get people enough that they actually lowered their the amount of people there to try to pack it in from the original Olympics.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah. When I look at
it's London Stadium. It's London Stadium.
Okay.
So I thought London Stadium.
Okay, London Stadium.
So when I look at Premier League,
still holds 70,000.
Yeah.
And you going down to the championship with 70,000. Oh.
Crazy. They should be back though.
Right.
But when I look at the Premier League, what I see is a lot of comparisons to, the sports that we have in the US. We got a lot of black faces. You got a lot of black faces on the field, or non-white faces, I should say, right? But you don't really see that many on the sideline.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, boy Victor? He was coaching Burnley last year. What's his name? I think he went to Bayern.
Vincent Company.
I would call him Vic. Vincent Company. Other than him, I don't see any black coaches in the European teams.
I believe this. Let me see. Hold on. It's a couple, but your point still stands though.
Yeah.
Yes, the point still stands for sure, but it's a couple.
Because you see a lot of African cats, they have, straight tripped out parts where they have like, you
got Nottingham's coach Nuno. Nuno's black.
Nottingham got
he is.
Yeah, Nuno. He used to be the old Tottenham coach.
Okay. All right. All right. But yeah, so you see a lot of brothers, playing for the squad, but you don't see a lot. And that just reminds me, okay, like, yeah, I like to talk about the NFL, but
Oh,
this,
Chelsea's new coach is black. I forgot.
these are the original colonizers. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, they are. They're original.
They're the original colonizers. They
Learned
know
it
how to
from
make
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. But
But also,
the other thing I had to get used to was when you like right now we're in the transfer window,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to get used to the whole terminology: buy them or sell them.
It didn't sound good to you?
Because to me, that I'm thinking auction block.
Yeah. But
You know what I mean? But they just like, hey, listen, we need to buy that player, we need to sell this player. It's just the terminology and stuff. And that again, that's the whole top boy, it's kind of our interest in in the UK and all that. It's like, okay, I'm getting with the terminology and everything. So
he said the buy and sell was too much for him.
Buy sell, right? That's why I was thinking about it.
I knew when you said it, I knew what you was thinking.
but it also speaks to the difference because they got more autonomy over there. Because the player over there could be like, I don't want to play here no more. So go ahead.
Or I'm not gonna sign with them.
Yeah,
Like
go ahead and sell me over here, and let's make a mutual agreement so I can go somewhere else or what have you. Whereas NFL more plantation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Definitely.
There's no guarantee. You up out of here.
No guarantees. Yeah. And because again, it goes back to there's literally only 32. They have a free minor league, basically the NFL doesn't have to expend any money. So they're not necessarily aligned to where you could have lower divisions and relegate teams and stuff like that. So
I think basketball could benefit from it the most, though, to be honest.
I think basketball will be perfect for it, honestly.
When you talk about the buy sell approach,
no regulation,
no the alignment, different leagues, divisions, going linear, or stack them up, whatever.
So you saying have like regulation in basketball and NBA?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing though. You don't really have that league. The G League is owned by the NBA.
Right, but you can open up more teams.
Which
KC can get a squad.
Which teams are owned by, the actual league. So I don't see how that.
But think about it. KC could get a squad. You could have one in St. Louis, Nashville. Like you could open it up more, where you could get more ownership in there as well, as long as you're willing to invest. And it's only 3 teams going up, 3 teams going down. And then you see the playoffs after those teams,
Hi, I'm Marika Moore, and if you want to get all up in my business, you should check out my new book, Unsolicited Marriage Advice, where I provide an analysis of the best marriage advice that I've received over the past 16 years or so. So head on over to Amazon and buy it now.
So, the reason why I don't see that happening
is the TV money.
Is because because this is what happens. It's the money, right? It's the money. But
always
another sport that I'm getting into is F1. And, so you only got certain teams on F1. You got McLaren, Ferrari, whatever. In order for you to get in, you got to pay a buy-in to divvy up to the other owners.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Almost like $500 million. Yeah, for real. And that's what they determined it to be. Right. So like say, okay, us 3, we got a car, we got a homeboy that's an engineer. We want to come in and say, all right, give us $500 million. We're going to spread it amongst ourselves, because when you come in, you're diluting the money that we make it, because now we got to split more of our TV money with you. So you got to make us whole. And I don't see that's why they're not really big on expansion or whatever. I think they may do 1 or 2 teams, but I don't see them creating allowing another league so they can have relegation or anything like that, just because it's going to mess up the money.
Yeah. I mean, but think about it, and it would discourage people from actually tanking, but winning your lower division, because the 3 teams that go up would get the first 3 draft picks.
Yeah.
So you would come into the league with the top 3 picks. That's the way I've always thought. The first 3 teams that come up get the 3 first picks.
Yeah, and honestly, that's another thing though. You speak about draft picks, that's different, and it's just in US. You see it kind of how it plays out in the US sports as well. Like over there, they have academies. Yeah. So these kids they went to Man U Academy. They've been in Man U playing with them since they 9 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everybody knows about him. There's no draft. Hey, we saw this kid and he from our neighborhood. He good. We bring him up, and Then there's
And then you
there's
can
really
sell
no
them at 15. Like, I'll
yeah,
be like, oh, we're gonna
exactly,
sell them to
exactly.
Barcelona for
or let
75,000.
them go or whatever.
Yeah.
Or that,
And I think
and
that
so I
speaks
say
to
you
your point, Lav, about why the talent level doesn't for what we call soccer doesn't match
mhm.
European, because soccer is like baseball. It's expensive. If you don't
Yeah,
have to
it
pay
is.
your kid
It
to get
is.
the training and one-on-one training, strength and conditioning training, skills training, all these different things, plus paying for hotels, flights, for the travel schedule. It's tough,
And
right?
so
You know, oh, you in Europe, you can get you. Hey, you good enough? Come on here. We're gonna actually give you a scholarship.
We're gonna pay for
right.
everything.
And yeah, yeah. And you talk about baseball, and it makes me think how every baseball team has an academy in the Dominican Republic, right? And so I don't know, do English soccer teams have like academies, and like they say, man, we're going to Ghana, and we're gonna put an academy there, or something, or a country that's not their home country, but they, where they can take advantage, quite frankly, take
Technically
advantage of
legal.
cheaper labor per
It's
se.
technically legal, but they do it. So like that's how they got Barcelona got Messi. They had like this
Okay.
other feeder program in
In
Argentina.
Argentina. Okay.
And but it's technically not on the book. It's on the books, but it's not on the books. You can't say this is Barcelona's academy, but it's a
Okay.
Barcelona sponsored academy.
So that they got the dude that's buying shoes for the neighborhood or whatever.
AAU soccer.
Yeah, he's the AAU coach. You know what I'm saying? That yeah.
And but the thing is though is like
they got him in Brazil. They got him in Brazil.
But they believed in Messi a lot. Barcelona, he had like bad knees and everything. They paid for him to get all his stuff like redone as a kid. Like that's how much they believed in him. But like once again, they had somebody already over there because they had an academy to know like this dude's nice. We don't need to pay for this, but they paid for him to be totally fixed up, brand new.
So if somebody wants to get into European football, would you recommend that they start with the Premier League, or would you say, go with La Liga, or how would you suggest people go about it? I feel like there's a connection with the US and the Premier League.
It's easier accessible. It's easier accessible
because of the language. There's no language barrier.
Language barrier, yeah. You can watch the broadcast on like you say on Sunday mornings or Saturdays on NBC without, you don't have to have cable for that. And if you got some of these a lot of cities now have Telemundo and Univision, just on broadcast, and they show games too. There is the language
and
on
the
that
pubs
one.
aspect, the social aspect is bigger for Premier League in the US than
yeah,
the other
in the
leagues.
US, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like the only team that really gets pub, like you could see La Liga teams on ESPN,
It's on ESPN,
but they're really only going to show like Real Madrid and Barcelona.
That's it.
In Barcelona, yeah, that's it.
That's like
because honestly,
that's like the Yankees.
If I could watch PSG, I would. I'm not gonna lie.
What'd you say?
PSG's nice. Yeah, they nice.
I said if I could watch PSG a lot, I would. They always got a few brothers on their squad, and they always them French guys is skilled, man. Like wow.
Yeah. Where's Mbappe from? Was he from France?
Yeah, he's from Paris.
He's from Paris, and then he went to from PSG to.
No, he was Monaco first. He went Monaco.
Yeah, but he went from PSG to Real Madrid.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, I'm looking forward to seeing him. And do y'all watch any other leagues at all? Did y'all?
I watch almost all of them.
I watch La Liga. I watch Real and Barcelona. That's it.
Yeah, I'll watch like Champions League. Yeah. I don't watch I have watched Messi here with Inter Miami, whatever, and it was crazy. So they played Charlotte FC, and so obviously I'm downtown or whatever, and I'm leaving. I see like all these I didn't understand Messi's impact and like how popular he was, man. It was crazy. They sold out. They usually don't have the upper deck at the Panther Stadium, Bank of America Stadium, that usually isn't open. They opened it up and it was still sold out. People was buying tickets for $1,000. And so I was like, man, and Messi's past his prime. I can't imagine what he was 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Past his prime is still dominating over here.
That's what I'm saying. Over here.
But he do that over
here.
Yeah.
I think low key Messi still could put in work though over there. He may not be starting, but if you gave him 30 minutes over in a European league, I still think he'd put in work.
Yeah.
Like if he came off the bench, he just don't want to come off the bench.
Yeah. So did y'all watch AFCON?
Yes, oh, yes, I did.
Were you watching all the matches, or did you watch the championship match?
I watched the both the semifinals and the championship.
Okay, okay. I gotta admit, man, I feel like a sellout. I didn't watch. You know, I kept up on it, but I didn't watch.
Yeah, I saw it was on. I didn't watch it.
The African team that I always rock for, you know, when the World Cup is the Black Stars. You know what I'm
Me
saying?
too.
They got the dope name. Yeah.
Exactly. Because
Did they qualify this year?
inside?
For the World Cup, they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nigeria,
Inside information.
Nigeria didn't. No, that's
Yeah,
the one that's the killer.
They lost to AFCON and they didn't qualify.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nah, but you said the Black Stars. Since first time I really watched the World Cup was 2006, and Ghana made a little run in 2000.
Ghana made
so,
like the quarters that year.
And so ever since then, my fantasy football team has been called the Black Stars. It's the Black. You know, that's just what my fantasy football team ever since then, man. So to this day, it's still called the Black Stars. Yeah.
And what's crazy is they had a lot of nonsense in that championship game.
Oh,
AFCON. You know,
it was amazing though to watch.
Senegal won, but they're playing the Moroccans. And it was just like the dichotomy between.
You already know where you're going. I already know.
Already got a bunch of
the more Arab influence part
exactly.
of Africa, you know, versus
Northern Africa versus Sub-Saharan.
Northern African, yeah.
You know, so they was there. So I saw where he's like, hey, there was a penalty called, teams getting pulled off the pitch. Thing that was tripping me out was the ball boys was attacking the backup goalie, because they were trying to take the towel from the goalie, which he's allowed to have, and they was like low key roughing him up.
Yeah, no, what do you mean low key? They was tackling him.
Right, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. It's crazy, dude. Yeah. So
it was so much drama with that, man. Like, and then they do so that you do know the guy that took that kick, he's not even Moroccan for real. He's Spanish.
Raheem Diaz.
Yeah, but his dad is from Morocco.
He played for Real Madrid, right?
Yeah, but no, he plays for Atletico, I believe. But he's Spanish.
So how is he playing for Morocco?
Because his dad's Moroccan.
That's what
it's the same way the U.S. got guys.
Yeah, that's how the U.S. got half their team.
well, Spain and Morocco are right by each other.
Yeah, but he's never been to, like, he didn't go to Morocco for real of he became on the national team. It's not like he went back to visit like that or nothing. He he was as good. And they was like, "We'll take you."
What's one of them U.S. NBA dudes used to do that? Play for other teams.
Kyrie Irving.
Who did Kyrie play for?
Kyrie was trying to go for Australia, man.
Wow, how was he going to Australia?
Yeah, his dad was play ball over there. He was born over there and all that. Yeah.
Oh, Tim Duncan played for the Virgin Islands?
But he's from the Virgin Islands. I get that.
Okay. I thought Tim Duncan.
Yeah. Hakeem Olajuwon played for the
he
US,
came literally from the Virgin Islands straight over, just like Rick Fox is too.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Rick Fox played for the Bahamas, Buddy Hield, quite a few play for the Bahamas, you know. They got a few players.
You got cats that play for like Toronto, for Canada.
Oh, Canada got a lot. Canada got a lot
of NBA cats. Well, I think that's because they have really made a concerted effort, the NBA, about taking it global, right? And we talk about like how players coming from Europe are much more skilled, even in basketball, than it's that academy system.
It's the that's what I was saying. You can see it that in basketball, because those guys, by the time they quote unquote draft eligible, they've been pros for 4 years. You know what I mean? So
they already know how to work in the system.
They already know how it goes.
Be professional, all of those things, right?
Yeah. And so
I know earlier you were talking about U.S. soccer is making a big change that's going to help it out a lot. That I don't know if y'all seen like the 4 different rules they changing. So so my daughter plays club soccer, so they're changing it where it was by like 2013, 2014 by your year born. They're going by your class year. So if you're in the 7th grade, you play 7th grade. So you just 7th grader team, you're on a 7th grade team. But the college is now going to make it all year round. So you know how in college they make you play 3 games a week in college, like they playing more than the Premier League is playing, like in college, like to pack it all in the fall. So it's gonna be 2. You're gonna play August to November, and then you're gonna play March to May.
Okay.
So their bodies are going to, and so now you can get more. They can play on U.S. national teams during that in between period or anything like that. That's traveling, they can get coached up for real because a lot of people are saying coaches basically were like, I was trying to keep my people not being injured, so we ain't even on the pitch that much because we got 3 games this week. We got to play at Drexel, then we got to play at William and Mary, and then we got to play at Duquesne in 1 week. So they're breaking that up with that as well as along with the transfers. The transfer portal is only going to be 2 weeks for college players now instead of the month.
Yeah.
So it's changing up. It'll improve a lot. It'll help the college game improve a lot.
MLS is changing their schedule this year to align with the European schedule too. Yep. Yeah.
What do you mean by that, Lav?
So right now, up until 2026, they started in the January. Like right now, January, February, like the season kicked off and first game is end of February and they end in October. That's totally opposite of Premier League. So it wouldn't align. So when it come time to transfers and that kind of stuff, it kind of put players and teams in a bind, really, because they couldn't, there wasn't as much ability to move from Europe to the US without big changes and stuff.
So let me ask y'all this, man. What do y'all think it would take to get more brothers like us into European football? Because to me, I live my life, man. I consider myself well-traveled. And, I promote that on my social media pages, but it's not to floss but it's because I have a belief that you only got one life to live, man. You live and then you die. And I'm trying to do as much as I can with the life that I've been given. A lot of that I feel is expanding your horizons, doing different things. Now I'm closed-minded to a lot of stuff, but when it comes to certain experiences, I'm all about it, right? So I can say that I did it. So that's why I feel like something like this will add to your awareness, add to your broader knowledge of the world and your culture. Because when I see when they play Champions League and they're playing against all the other teams in Europe, and I'm like, who is Galatasaray? How you even say it? Galatasaray.
Yeah, Galatasaray. Who's Ajax? Yeah.
And where is that at? You know what I'm saying? Where's Bruce?
Teams be raw too on the low.
Yeah. And so I end up looking up those cities, right? Okay, what's the difference?
Like, that's in Turkey.
What's all this? Blah, 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 blah. So what do y'all think, man? So my point being is, I feel like the more well-rounded you are, the better person you are, especially for us as Black men. Because, I talk to a lot of sisters and they're like, man, if a dude don't have a passport, if he ain't traveled, if he isn't, knowledgeable, I really don't want to talk to him because he really don't have much to talk about, man. There's a different maturity level when you're more well-rounded. So how do we get brothers to get more into this sport?
Well, one way I like, because I learned all the teams learned was FIFA. Like playing FIFA soccer when it first back in the day.
Me and my son, I was just joking with him today and said, "Boy, I used to put it on you, dog. I would play with the Netherlands national team. He put it on him.
Yeah. Because the Netherlands, that's when Memphis Depay was cold on there.
Yeah, Netherlands has a squad though, man.
Yeah, no, Netherlands always got a squad though.
Yeah, the crazy thing is Netherlands got a squad and all the brothers look just like us.
Right, exactly.
They have black. Yeah, they whole squad. They have half their squad black.
Yeah. And my son,
but it's been like that for forever since the 80s though with them. Like,
and my son would always pick Messi. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's like playing with Bo Jackson. That's like playing with Bo Jackson on Tecmo Bowl. Like, come on, man. But go ahead though. Other than FIFA, go ahead, Darryl. What else?
FIFA. I mean, and it's more of. I mean, I've been like trying to be like, man, like. I wonder if there was a Black meetup for Black soccer fans once a year somewhere for some event with that gathering where people be like, oh dang, it's some look at it's even if it's 100 people showed up. I'm just wondering, will people be like, okay, that's some kind of fly shit that all these people kind of got together.
Now I'm like a Black preacher. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say that honestly.
I think ideas are wrong with them, bro.
Good idea, man.
But I mean,
that's a really good idea.
Because I'll even tell some of my single friends that are women yo, if you want to get on a dude, go to some soccer spots. There's some brothers there that you wouldn't even know in this area, and they be on point because we all be hanging out and they from different countries, they're from different places. They ain't no cat you ever seen before in your life. But they're on point. And I think that's more of an opening horizons thing for us in general as people. Yeah. And I don't even know, and that's gonna be so many different categories, not just soccer, when it comes to us open our horizons.
Just exposure, And so it's like you said, it starts with
a cheat code too. I tell people, I told one of my employees other day, and I was like, You know how many jobs I've been got because I've had my like Man U flag behind me on an interview or something, or anything. You're talking about anything when it comes to football, they automatically their guard comes down. No, I'm not like they like. Did you know about Premier League?
Yeah,
Their guard comes
I'm talking
down.
about Man U's, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, y'all haters, man. Y'all. I
So
mean, we.
hey, for people here, Man U was like the equivalent of the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? So
I want to say the cat more the Yankees.
Man, did you? They said, well, you talking about
you say
NFL
Yankees? I
NFL
said
comparison?
Real Madrid is more like the Yankees.
I would say they're more the Lakers.
Real Madrid. I'm gonna tell you this, and this is another thing. So I used to when I first moved here, I was taking my son to the Dominicans to get his hair cut. They all was wearing Real Madrid. They always had the soccer on in the background too, man. They all was down with Real Madrid, man.
Yeah, I mean it's between us and Real Madrid for the biggest clubs in the world. It's between us two.
I can see it. So, Lad, what you think, man? How we get more brothers involved?
I think a lot of it really just is exposure, because I think, like me, there's a lot of guys that just like watching athletics in general and just seeing good competitive athletes, and it's what you do, right? You like doing that. And I think partly because where we grew up here in the US, it wasn't pushed on you, but every resource is available to you now. There really is no excuse. I mean, if you just like competition, if you can watch NBA, the NBA in soccer, to me, the movements, I can see them translating easily. You say the dribbling, the passing, the spin moves, that kind of stuff. No look pass, between the leg dribble, basically. How they walkovers, when they in soccer. It's so similar, man. I just think if people really just watch a top flight game as opposed to watching, LA Galaxy against, the Houston Dynamo or whoever, I think it would make a huge difference. I don't know how to, I mean, it's there for them. You just gotta,
But I think also U.S. soccer's gotta get down, and this is always been a dream of mine in my head, is like go to like the second and third person on a bench of a team, like an 8th grade team, and be like, dude, you never gonna play, but you have the athleticism to go be dope in this other sport. We gonna grab you and come teach you and put you in an academy.
Let's see,
because we know you have the athleticism to be able to make this AAU team, but you're never gonna be tall. You're never gonna be big.
But I think that's the piece that I was going to hit on. First of all, Lab, there is a huge translation, because you look at set piece plays versus inbound plays, and
that's NBA. One thing too. You got to respect. Right. Y'all boys run some really good set pieces, man. Y'all run some. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Hey, you guys, it's me, Dr. Tori. My book is officially out, and yes, it is time to talk about aces. You guys can find the books everywhere. However, I would encourage you guys to go to my website, BeVictorious.com, and place your order today. Yes, it's time to talk about aces. Let's go, y'all.
So that's that right there. But I think the other thing too, though, is that there has to be some way to make the game fly to young brothers and young sisters. Because listen, I know Lab's an athlete. I was a former athlete or whatever. Part of that swag, I'm the captain of the football team, right? There's swag that comes with that, like, dude, you the top dude on the biggest, on the hardest team in the school, right? So there's some swag that comes with that. And I remember now, I'm old now, right? So I was playing high school ball in the early 90s. I remember being in practice, and we played in our practice fields, and right adjacent to our practice field was the soccer team on that one little field, right? And I remember they was doing something, and they was dancing and having fun. And I remember my coach just kind of looking at them, and he said, well, I ain't gonna put him out there like that. Basically, he said some disparaging words about casting in soccer. So soccer has always been looked at as soft.
Yeah.
Okay. Because of the NFL, the gridiron, that notion, that idea, like, you know what, whether I'm hurt or not, I'm still gonna lay it on the line for the program, right? In soccer, in football, we got a bad habit of calling it soccer, but for people,
it's really fun. Yeah.
But for in soccer or European football, hey man, take me out. That's why we got to have squad
Yeah.
depth. I'm not gonna just we're not doing it. It's a mindset. It's that plantation mindset that we have in the U.S. versus over.
Hey,
Yeah.
Marv, they just roll over on the
Look
field.
at that
Just roll on the sidelines. I'm just,
Yeah,
y'all just gonna be
exactly.
down a man. I'm out.
and you know what? That's slowly but surely though, here in the US, they are, I'm not gonna say respecting them because it's still about the money, but understanding that, hey man, some of this stuff that was going on physically with these cats, we probably shouldn't be doing it to them, right? And so they are listening to players on safety, supposedly a little more. And I think you hit on a big point. It's up to people of our generation, because the generation before us, like you said, your coaches, your parents was like, man, you ain't playing soccer. That's not for, you got to go out there and be a man and play football or whatever. But that's really on
Think
the
about it.
people who
Most
have
of the dudes that played soccer when we was coming up was lame. So we're
Yeah,
considered.
that's what I'm saying. And so it's on, the onus is on us to let other people know, like you said, your daughter plays, that's cool, because I don't even remember us having I mean, I know we had a soccer team, but I don't think we had more than 11 players. That's what you need. I don't think they had more than 11 players, seriously, and some of them was foreign exchange too. Probably the vast majority of the soccer team was,
Hey, Lav in the heart of Kansas City, and they got Fabio from Brazil on the left.
Right.
Like, how y'all got half your team from Brazil?
Right. What was that one dude from Brazil? His name was Fred.
Yeah, Fred. He's playing for the
Fred,
yeah. Yeah. His name was just Fred. But man, I think it's a dope game. I think,
Another thing I wonder if you go to a way back time machine, if somebody like Cross Colors or Carl Kanai would have got their hand on one European player and like just did a campaign with them, I think this could have turned a little bit. Like if you'd have got Henri and got him in some like Rockaware and like a Rockaware ad back then, he was a little before his
time, man. A little bit, because like right now, if he was out right now, like he would be everywhere. I mean, seriously, he would be everywhere.
He would. But see, you know what? You got Killian now. He ain't everywhere.
I think that's on Killian though. I mean, from what you read the tea leaves about his kind of personality, that's on him though, I think. The person that I thought was gonna be able to do it was Rashford. Because he was signed to Rock Nation.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he signed to Rock Nation. Okay. That's going to open up these other different opportunities for him. But I think somebody, or I always say like, man, like if I'm an owner of an NFL team, why don't you match up your NFL player with one of your soccer players and do a campaign? If I own both teams, if I own the Rams and Arsenal, I need to do a campaign with both of them.
But
this
go ahead, Lav.
This the thing though, NFL is eyeing Europe. And they've been over there for a minute. They trying to get over there. So it's only going to be a matter of time before they try to start a league or something like that over there. And I think
that's the thing. They like it as a novelty, but like the one game.
It's going to be a lot of American players still, though.
Yeah, but
they'll try to get it grassroots.
What the world is going global, right? And it's like the NBA. The NBA, I don't see them really trying to compete in Europe because they already have, the Europe can kind of hold its own. That's why they're trying to go into Africa, though, because
Africa for NFL too.
Because I've always said it. If we could go into Africa and we could get a LeBron from there and get him over here, then LeBron from Africa, we're gonna call him. I ain't gonna do that. The equivalent for LeBron from Africa ain't gonna wear no "we can't breathe" shirt.
I was just gonna say that he just gonna be happy to be here.
And you know how I know that? Look what happened to Major League Baseball. Back in the day, black folks love Major League Baseball. I used to watch it with my grandma.
I watched it up until the 2000s.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I still watch it.
But you got to admit though, Lav, the days when we had like Ozzie Smith, Ricky Henderson, Dave Parker, Dave Henderson, all those cats playing. Now you see people that look like us, but they not us.
No.
You know
well, that's
Major League Baseball actively push black people away. That shout out to Torrey Hunter. And what's Darryl Strawberry's nephew? Played for the Brewers.
Oh,
Gary Sheffield.
Yeah, that's Doc Gooden's nephew, Sheffield.
Yeah, Doc Good. My bad. I said Darryl Strawberry. Yeah. Mets though. That's why I had it. But to me, back to how we get it to more prevalent in the U.S. Just like with anything, you got to get black people to love it. Because when black people love it,
we set the trend.
When it becomes cool, then everybody else falls in. You see it on social media, you see it on everything. So once, to your point, Darryl, if you could get somebody that's like, listen, let's try. And I see Jay-Z doing it, but Jay-Z's kind of like
he's our age.
Because you saw what Jay-Z and Beyonce.
He's older than us.
But you saw what Jay-Z and Beyonce went to the F1 race. And most cats, and you got to be able to make it palatable because most cats, they don't recognize, okay, you got Premier League. Yeah, that's for like some brothers who's, cultured or whatever. But when you talk about F1 racing, those are the 1%ers. So when Jay-Z and Beyonce are going there, changing the outfits, whatever, most cats didn't realize that was a huge flex. That was a huge flex on their part. So it's got to be somebody, to your point, there, somebody that can connect it, the hip hop or whatever.
It's got to be like
it's not going to happen from somebody from London because London cats can't rap.
No. I'm talking about it's got to be like little baby.
Man, you disparaging one of your fans. Ain't 21 Arsenal guy?
Yeah, but 21. That 21 said he from Atlanta.
Now 21 came out, and Arsenal would have to embrace him too, though.
Yeah.
He's got one of these clubs got to embrace one of these brothers.
Well, I mean, right? There's people that do the knowledge, you know what I'm saying, and they recognize. There's a lot of Black Americans that ride with Arsenal because of Arsenal's history with
first black midfield, all midfield
with black players.
Yeah, first black whole starter. Yeah.
But if there's somebody, like my son's age, and they 20, early 20s or whatever, that can make that connection and make it cool, that's how it's going to pop. But just having like games over here, because as long as it's just, basically white boys pushing it or whatever, and the smidge of brothers like us, it ain't going to pop. You got to get black people behind it. That's the audience that they need to target.
The guy that I think could make it work, he signed a New Balance though, and your boy Saka, right? So he's on the New Balance commercials and so forth. But if he had New Balance,
Saka got to have a video with Travis Scott. He got to have a commercial with Travis Scott
or something. And they don't usually have those collabs like that with New Balance per se. They don't have more. They have old school classic lifestyle gear.
What's Steph Curry wear? What's Steph Curry wear?
He's a free agent now. He was with Under Armour.
Okay, I thought he was New Balance. Okay.
He's free agent. He just left Under Armour.
What do he wear now?
He free agent. He wear everything.
Man, I bought a pair of some of them Kyrie shoes, man. Them shits hurt my toes so bad. But
the Antas?
Yeah.
They look nice though. I almost got them, but I was like, I don't play basketball, so I ain't gonna get no basketball.
Well, I had the low tops, you know what I'm saying? But and I need some Ys, man. They have my corners jumping down. But
I'm thinking, think of it like this, y'all. Think about the Sprite commercials. If you paired like a soccer player with like one of them old Sprite commercials, Bay Your Thirst. When I'm at Arsenal with Saka, Obey Your Thirst, and I'm just saying it's Lil Baby. And he rapping with Saka, and he doing his thing in the background, and it's like, and they both crush a Sprite can together in the middle of the Emirates. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of thing you market, and then it would help out Arsenal too, though. Like something like that.
What's the best Sprite commercial ever? It's easy.
Is it you think it's the Karas one?
It was the Voltron commercial.
That Karas one, MC Shan one is.
Was Voltron Sprite?
Yeah, that's Sprite.
I don't remember.
That's right.
We was in college when that happened. When they had
I remember.
And they had a different rapper for each line.
Yep. Like it was Fat Joe. It was
Fat
Goody
Joe
Mob,
was Green.
Mac 10, Africa Bambaataa.
And Bambaataa was Bambaataa.
Yeah, I swear I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, you can go on YouTube and find them.
Nah, that was
Yeah, I'll look it up. Yeah, I don't remember that one though.
That was
Yeah.
dope because they could.
Oh, and Common was the fifth one. Common was the fifth one. He was the fifth line.
They spread it out over time. So like, oh, that's the new line. They would come on like when Rap City would come on or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
And it took like months though. They rolled that out for a while.
Months. Hey, real quick before we wrap it up. Do y'all remember, speaking of BET and speaking of sports, BET used to have this dude that would do a recap of the weekend sports and he would write a rhyme and that shit would flow, bro. And he would just kind of.
Oh, it was on BT Sports with Joe Clair.
Is he still, that dude still on there?
I don't know, but it was with Joe Clair though, because Joe Clair was the host of BT Sports.
Yeah, but it was
it's like, a cat
hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Go ahead.
It's a cat I follow now on social media. He does it. It's just he does it for NFL. And it'd be fly. Every week he do a different one.
This dude, he could basically run like an extended commercial. And like within a minute, he would hit the highlights, but he would create a rap to tell the story about the weekend sports. Man, dude was cold with it.
Yeah.
A lot of cats that was ahead of their time. You think about it, I know we really get on a tangent. Hits from the Streets was ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was.
Hits from the Streets. He said, man, my biggest regret is that I didn't sell DVDs. He said, I could put all that on DVD. I could have made millions.
I remember I saw him at Howard when I went up there one time, man. It was graduation weekend because my homeboy was graduating. He
was messing with people
up there. Yeah.
And if you think about it, Hits from the Streets walked. So our Speed and Kai Cenat could run.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And yeah.
Because Speed cold to me, dog. That dude was a fucking athlete, dog.
Yeah. Did you see that thing when he tried to race
a cheetah?
No, he tried to race the corny Olympian dude that won all the gold medals.
I saw he raced the cheetah. The cheetah scratched him and everything.
No, this the dude with the braids that said that he how do basketball players say they world champions.
You know what I'm talking about, Lav.
Oh, Noah Lyles.
Noah Lyles. Yeah, he raced him. he raced him in a race.
Speed fast, but he ain't Noah Lyles fast.
No.
He ain't Noah Lyles
and Noah Lyles slowed up too for him. We can look at him.
But hey, Speed an athlete though. Speed.
I mean, he was up there with him. Like it wasn't like it was a wash.
I knew Speed was a damn athlete. I saw a clip. This boy had on some flip-flops, no socks, and was blindfolded. He was blindfolded, and he did a backflip.
Yeah, I saw that. I knew you were gonna say that.
I was like,
too. Like, dang,
what?
This dude just
He had
jumped out the gym and did a
blindfolded and busted a backflip. Yeah. But anyway, man, hey, listen, man, I think this is dope, man. You know, as the season goes by, if y'all don't mind, man, we come back and just talk about what's going on.
I would love to do
My
this.
team's out of it. My team's out.
They still in the Champions League, though.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it, but it's really an adjustment with no playoffs, man. Like, you just Americanized. You're used to a playoff at the end of the year, man, and you've been on it for a while, so you used to it. But I was like, dang, ain't no playoffs. Nope.
But you know what? I think it makes it because every game counts, though.
Yes.
You can't have,
it does.
You can't really have too many throw-off games. Everybody realizes like the Premier League is rough. You're gonna have a stinker. You're gonna draw against a team you should have blew out, or you might even get popped, right? But every game, if you really competing, like, and because like Tottenham and Man U, even though I would say Arsenal has been doing better than those teams lately, you all are still competing to get into Champions League.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Right.
Because
Yeah,
of the money
you
that
can
comes
get in
along
there,
with
yeah.
it, so you can bring better players in.
And I guess if you're at the bottom, you got to compete so you don't get relegated. So yeah.
And people don't
Ain't
understand
nobody
you losing a
slacking.
check. Like your salary is on the line. It's not you not, and that's the thing about getting relegated. Your whole team loses money, so your check is gone.
And you're not
You
keeping
losing
no
all your
good
players too.
You're not keeping those good players if you get
Nah,
relegated.
your players
No.
is gone. Yeah.
You got to sell them.
Yeah. Cause what happened to Ramsdale? Ramsdale got traded. He got sold from Arsenal to Southampton. Southampton got regulated.
Because he's at, where is he at now? Newcastle?
Is he?
I think he's at Newcastle.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
He's at
But yeah,
Newcastle.
man, I think this is dope, man. I talk to most people I know. And like you said, Darryl, it's a good, when I see people from, the UK or what have you, or even other folks like, hey, well, who your team? Oh, man, I rock with Real Madrid, or, I rock.
It's a whole other conversation. It opens it up.
I know cats that mess with Leverkusen. They mess with the Bundesliga teams, right? So,
but think about how it opens up that this person is not your average conversation. That's how I tell people, like, like, all right, we're not gonna have an average conversation in general about anything. So everything is open.
Yeah. So hopefully, man, we've done it justice. We'll come back.
I would love to tap in. This is fun.
Every few weeks, and we'll talk about what's going on and all that stuff. Maybe get a couple other people to join in the discussion.
Yeah. Even though shout out to Dub, who is infected all of y'all to be Arsenal. I mean, an infection. He is an infection.
He didn't get his LB though. Last straight Tottenham.
I know, but I'm just saying he's an infection. You know how many other people he's an infected? He's an infected. There's at least 20 Arsenal fans in this world because of him.
Well, listen. But here's the thing, though. He's got the easiest sales pitch ever. You say, "Hey, Arsenal's the black team. That's the team."
I know.
So most people gonna be like,
"That's true."
That's like in the early '80s. Somebody, no matter where you live, maybe outside of Chicago or New York, most cast was Lakers fans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was like the
team
team that was more flashy and represented, blackness versus Boston, more blue collar and white. So
they had more, like you said, they was more of a setting trends. It was flashy, and that's what European football needs to cross over with the U.S. audience is a superstar that's flashy that can cross over, man.
Dude, man, they be having them chants where they be going at each other. Imagine American black people, ADOS going at having chants. You got cheerleaders, you know what I'm saying?
and low key, one thing I thought about, one of them soccer players got to date a top-notch American woman. I'm talking about that actually is the one that probably do it the best. So Rihanna's with ASAP Rocky, but let's say if Sokka was dating Rihanna, then you talking about it'd be up.
That's true. I think so too. Yeah. That actually.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Think about how popular Memphis Depay got just from dating Lori Harvey.
Who
in America?
Who?
Memphis Depay. He played. He's in Netherlands, but he was super popular at one point because of Lori Harvey. Might be like 2010 or like 2015.
I just don't know how that translates to actually sitting down and watching the game, though.
No. But it makes you. But if you hear about somebody, then you're like, oh, okay, I want to see what it's about.
Think about Taylor Swift with Travis Kelce. Same thing.
Maybe I'll watch a game.
Yeah.
But it's nobody popular enough in America, like mainstream. I feel like wise because that's the whole idea of that is like exploding in general of like, oh yeah, this is the super pop star. It's nobody could date over here that would do that. But Rihanna would be the one. If
that's why I question that. I mean, it's a novel idea, but like you look at like Jude Bellingham from Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
You often see, he's a handsome dude. People talk about, he makes like the best looking list or whatever. Shout out to Anthony Joshua. How people not know about Anthony Joshua?
Girls just found out about him in the U.S.
So then he fights our boy. What's his name? Jake
Paul.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Now all sisters like, oh shit, where's this dude been? I'm like, this dude been boxing for years.
He's 4 years old.
Knocked out 5 years. He's been getting knocked out for the last 5. So
what are you talking about? What are you talking about? But so that's why I don't think like a looks, gossip, or whatever. You got to make it cool. You got to make it cool to brothers. And not leaving out the sisters. But you know what I'm saying? Sisters mainly gonna go where the dude, like, hey, we're going to the sports market, that's where the brother's gonna be, whatever. And I think that's a way to get people involved.
Yeah, think about my idea in my head. What was the one it girl maybe like 10 years ago that everybody was feeling that's like she like our age, and she got like a kid that's like almost 30 now. Everybody was feeling her. She looks kind of Brazilian.
No,
she looks kind of Brazilian. Looking. Oh, what was her name, man?
What'd she do?
He was one of those bartender girls. Remember when them bartender girls used to be popular, like in the early 2000s?
Coyote Ugly?
No. She was like one of them, those strip club bottle girls, like
starlets
and all that. Where
you're either talking about Tahiri or I know the girl you're talking about.
She's fine as wine though, but like she looks
fine.
Brazilian.
She didn't have a lot of work done, but she's super fine.
Yeah, but she looks Brazilian though, kind of like got the Brazilian color, all that.
Ain't her name like Brenda or Barbara?
Oh man.
We gotta. It's
You're not talking about Bernice Burgos.
There we
Bernice
go.
Burgos. I said
That's
bring
it.
her Barber.
Oh.
Yeah, Bernice.
No,
Burgos.
I'm saying if somebody would have dated her back when she was super hot.
She's still hot.
No, I'm talking about where her name was in everybody's mouth. I'm saying.
Still.
She's still hot. Shit.
No, I'm not saying she's not bad. She's still bad.
Yeah.
I'm talking about where like she was
to this day.
Yeah.
To this day.
Shout out to Deontay Wilder. To this day. She's still bad. She's still bad. I don't know, man. I think it's got to have more of a visceral appeal to people. You know what I'm saying? Got to be a tie-in. And a big thing about sports is people are looped in either by the player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or there's a community piece. Like my dad rooted for the Steelers, my uncle's rooted for the Steelers. So I'm gonna root for the Steelers, or I'm gonna be that one person like my whole family like the Steelers, so I like the Ravens because I want to be different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's that draw to it from there. So whereas, and we're focused on Premier League, if I come up in Liverpool, I'm hating Everton, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm in North London, I'm either Arsenal or I'm Tottenham, and we don't fuck with each other. So there's got to be a way to, like, each one of us had a story. Those happen to just be stories where, like, my homeboy liked them, so I got into it. I'm trying to get with this chick, so I did my research. I was bored, and I saw the documentary. There's got to be some way for people to get tied in so they have that passion behind it.
But that's kind
of hard to. That's the hard bridge to make.
Right. It is, and the whole thing though is we talk about how NBA, but you know what? Cats go out and they play basketball in their neighborhood. These cats ain't going out and playing soccer in their neighborhood. So there was also that level as well. So you got to start them playing it. That's baseline.
Yeah. But do you think that? I wonder if like the Premier League, La Liga. I mean, everybody wants to make money in the U.S., but do you think that they are really, really trying, or are they making enough money where they're at domestically?
Somebody tried to have a regular shows.
They do.
One of them tried to do one of them leagues. It might have been La Liga was going to try to have a regular season match in the U.S.
Well, they want to try to do the Champions League. They still thinking about putting a couple of Champions League games here in the U.S.
And whoever their fans or the over there, the outcry in the nation was so big. They're like, no, don't take that over there.
So y'all got to remember, we almost had a Super League 3 years ago happen. Like 3 or 4 years ago, we almost had a Super League.
But we talk about the racism. And I talk about the NFL being more plantation, but you talk about like in Spain and Italy, they're calling them black men monkeys and throwing bananas on the pitch and all that. Now I think the response that those leagues have to the racism is more swift. Right, and they
penalizing your team, like points.
Penalize your team,
yeah,
all that. Versus NFL got Charlie Kirk showing at halftime or before the game.
Right, but that's also different. Like they ain't throwing bananas on the field of the NFL game. I mean, honestly,
it's more
Balotelli or whatever.
Balotelli is the one.
It's more like I guess I don't have lack of a better word, like hostile. More like sensational over there, but it's more systematic and deep rooted.
For sure, and that's the difference. The U.S.
That's the difference.
Is the structure. That's what I was talking about. The structure is built into the structure here.
Yeah.
And another thing is that you have to also believe that I wouldn't say that their black people are free because it's world law, but most of those are immigrants that.
We don't use the N word on the show, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right,
I was quoting Mos Def there. But we weren't immigrants to those countries. All their black people there in those countries in Europe, 9 out of 10 are immigrants. They chose to move to those countries. We didn't. So it's a different way that they look at the process of things and way they process things. Now there's a lot more forgetting where you come from more maybe with them as well. I mean, a lot of them, I'm not Senegalese no more, only for this time period when I got to play for the team. But other than that, you wouldn't know I'm Senegalese. There's some of that too.
And I think because I don't really follow Tottenham and Man U, but I'm assuming, especially Man U, Arsenal got huge followings in Africa, huge followings in Jamaica, and I think that goes back to the colonizing, right? So there's a connection, you know.
I didn't even think about that.
We're owned by the Crown or whatever. So I got cousins that's there, and I go visit my cousins. So my cousin rock with this team, so I bring it back here. You know, there's not that connection here. We're not really connected with the UK. Other than, you know, as brothers, you know, we're just not there. So, man, we can talk about it all day, all night. So, listen, make sure you go to our YouTube, click that bell icon, be notified of our shows. Darryl, tell me where they can find your show.
Yeah, man, it's anywhere SLC Network. It's tons of shows. I'm trying to bring back I actually had a soccer show with my buddy, Chelsea fan, named Brandon, but not obviously not that Brandon. Called Just Kicking It. I think we're gonna bring it back out for the U.S. Because we trying to go to the U.S. game on the West Coast, the one in Oakland, Santa Clara or whatever, this summer. So we'll probably bring that out, try to do some footage on that. But
Santa Clara definitely ain't Oakland, my brother.
Right, I know, but he lives in Oakland. So that's
they go play. They go play where the A's used to play. If you've seen that stadium where the A's used to play, you'll see why they left. That shit was
no, I went to see where Golden State played, and that was a horrible arena to me.
Where the A's play is right by it.
You have to walk past it. You have to walk past it.
Terrible.
And like, y'all ever go to the old arena back in the day in St. Louis?
I never went to the old St. Louis arena. No.
So the hallways were like high school hallways. That's how I felt when I went to Golden State. Like it was packed in the hall. Like you couldn't get a drink at a bar because somebody's gonna bump you because there's not enough room to get through.
That's why the Raiders was pissed off and hostile. You know. What I'm saying?
But no, SLC Network everywhere. You can check us out everywhere. We got 10 different shows on the network. You can check any of them out.
And that's a Sam, Oscar, Larry, Charles network, OLC. You know, we black, so we kind of SOC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, SOLC. Yes.
Yeah, Lav, you want to talk about your podcast, Lav?
Catch me on the Man Listen show, man. It's you know, the blackest radio show on the internet, man. So
that's right. Check out our show, and then check out my show, my homegirl Tay, conVersate After Dark, where we talk about relationships and sex. So, all right, well, I'll let y'all later. Peace.
Yeah.